And welcome to the Mid-Ohio Valley Public Forum video podcast. This podcast features issues of interest to the residents of the Mid-Ohio Valley area, mainly encompassing Wood County, West Virginia, and Washington County, Ohio. Right now, with the coronavirus pandemic, civic life has changed greatly throughout the country.
This is an election year, and one of the things that has greatly changed is that candidates are not able to campaign for office as they normally would. Generally, in normal times, they'd be out there attending soup bean dinners and ice cream socials and knocking on doors, talking to voters, kissing babies, shaking hands. You can't do any of that right now.
So many of our initial podcasts will be interviews with candidates for local office. If you're a local candidate and you're interested in being interviewed and we haven't reached out to you yet, please contact us either through our Facebook page, MOV Public Forum, or at our email, that's movpublicforum@gmail.com.
Today we're interviewing Charity Wise. Charity is a candidate for Parkersburg City Council from District 7. Welcome, Charity. We're so glad you could join us today.
Hi, I'm glad to join you too. I really appreciate this because, like you said in the opening, it's a different season. You can't go out and shake hands and hand out your pins and all the normal stuff that you would do when you run for office. It's definitely different. Even putting signs up, it's hard to go up to people's doors. You don't know, what they're feeling. Do they open the door for you? Do they yell at you, get off their floor? It's like, oh, I don't know. So with signs and stuff, even we've had a couple great days. If we catch some people outside mowing or whatever, hey, do you care if you, put my sign up? But yeah, it's been a whole different thing. So I really do appreciate this. I haven't been able to do meet and greets and stuff the normal candidates do.
With that, we'll dive right in.
Okay.
How would you introduce yourself as a candidate? Do you have an elevator speech? If we were traveling in an elevator and you had to introduce yourself and give me your pitch between floors to convince me to vote for you, what would you say?
Hopefully it's a slow elevator. No, I would just say I'm Charity Wise. I'm running for District 7 as a Republican. I have lived in Parkersburg my whole life. I'm raising my children here. My husband works here. So I'm not a career politician, but my heart and my interest is here in Parkersburg. So I'm going to do anything that I can to make Parkersburg better for your family and mine.
So this maybe ties into what you just said, but what is motivating you to run for office? What's the main reason you stepped up and decided to do this?
It does tie in because family is a big part of that. Parkersburg, I was raised here, so I think Parkersburg has a charm. I know we definitely have our issues, but I adore my children, even though they're teens. I still adore them, but they are teens, and I want them to come back here. I want them to come to Parkersburg. I want them to be able to work in Parkersburg. And so now that they're getting older and I see that and some of the issues that we do have in Parkersburg, I thought, I need to jump in here. For not only for that my children will want to come back to Parkersburg, but everybody's children will want to come back to Parkersburg. And that's really was my motivating factor.
What do you think is your wow factor? In other words, what would make someone who hears about you and your candidacy think, wow, I'm going to vote for her?
Oh, geez. Wow factor. I don't know. I'm pretty blunt. So I think I definitely love to jump into things with both feet. I don't like to jump into things uninformed. So I definitely read up on things and stay current. So I don't know, my wow factor. I guess because maybe I'm not a career politician. I am a mom and a wife, sister, friend, everything. So maybe that's my wow factor. I'm not doing it for a career motivated goal. Maybe that's it.
Okay, if you're elected, what's the one thing you really want to accomplish in your term of office? What is the city ordinance you'd like to see changed or abolished or created?
Let's see, I Probably. There's so many little things. One thing that I really hope that we can work on and change is the water lines around here. We have a couple good rains. You can't drive down by the city park. There's several places that are flooding. That definitely is a main goal of mine, especially, people walking, and a lot more people ride bicycles, and then you've got this high water. It's time to change those things. I think they're 100 years old, I was reading. So that would be a big thing that I would like to change. Also, maybe some things for like some teens, maybe activities for teens or something. Probably because I have teens, but there really is nothing. We've got some great things for little kids, but we don't really have anything for teens.
How do you feel about compromise?
Well, it depends on what it is. If you ask my children, they would probably say she does not compromise very well.
Mine would agree.
Yeah. So, I think it depends on the situation. I think if it doesn't go against my core value, and it's going to help everyone in the end, then, it's something I could compromise. If it's something that's going to hurt someone, then I'm definitely not going to compromise on something like that. So I think it just depends on the situation.
Do you play well with others? And can you give us an example?
Yeah, absolutely. My thing is just like, I always use my kids a lot, so sorry if I reference them a lot. It's like playing on the playground. Little kids, if you don't play well with others, well, nobody wants to play with you. So I think playing well with others, it's the only way you get things accomplished. If you've got, 4 people and 2 of them on one side and 2 of them on the other, and nobody wants to play well together, you're going to get nothing accomplished. I think I worked in a company with 300 people, and I did payroll. So in order to get everybody to please send in your payroll, you had to play well with others. There were certain people that would send them every time, on time, other people that you'd be like, hey, but you had to, you didn't want to be a jerk, or you may never get payroll done. So I definitely think I play well with others.
What do you think your worst enemy would say is your worst quality?
Oh, geez, my worst enemy. Probably that I am brutally honest. I think that would probably be the thing. Very blunt and very brutally honest. So if I have an enemy, which I hope I don't, I've probably said something very brutally honest to them. That would probably be what I would think they would say.
The flip side of that is, what do you think is your best quality?
Well, and that's so crazy because like your worst versus your best, but I feel like my best quality is that I'm brutally honest. I don't like little white lies. I have a very hard time. My face shows my emotion a lot more than I want it to sometimes. But I also think that's my best quality and what my friends would say they really love about me. So I think it kind of goes both ways. It can be a good thing or a bad thing.
Political office holders are leaders. Describe your leadership style.
Oh geez, was that the one that was something about in the trenches, or was that question? Yeah. I really like that question because I have been a leader. I've ran several women's groups. And like I said, I've been over a company with several hundreds of employees. So I think being a leader means that you have to get in the trenches with your people. You need to know what they're doing. I think being a leader is showing people how to do something and then hoping that they do an even better job than you did. So my leadership style is to make sure that anybody underneath me eventually does better than I do.
What do you think are your personal core values? Well, how would you, which ones would you say are your top core values?
My core values are my family. They're very important to me, not just my husband and my children, but extended relatives and friends. Anything that I can do to help my family or my neighbors. I think my core value is just maybe serving and helping people. I like to, it's kind of selfish, but I absolutely love when you get to help someone and you see that spark in their eye where they're, they're like, oh, there are still good people in Parkersburg. I also love when someone does that to me. But I think that's my core values, is just probably helping, try to make things better for anyone that you can.
Do you know your win number?
Listen, so I got this thing printed off from the courthouse a while ago, and I think the non-partisan was maybe 650 and the Republican was a little over 1,000. So, I mean, in a perfect world where everybody votes, if you take half that and then add one, I think it was like 825. But of course, there's no perfect world where everyone votes. So I just say all of them. I want all of them. All the votes. No, I just need one more than the other guy.
How often have you attended Parkersburg City Council meetings as a citizen?
I have went, well, of course, this year, can't really count that a whole lot. Matter of fact, this year, I'm not sure. My son had mono, and then of course this COVID-19 thing. So this year, I don't think I attended any because it's been closed. But last year, I would say I probably went maybe 6 times. Just depending on what it was about, and if it was something that you felt like you needed to be there. A lot of stuff with city council can be pretty boring if you don't have anything in the mix. So but I would say probably last year, probably 6 times.
How have you kept up on the proceedings of council when there wasn't a reason to attend the meeting?
Well, I mean, just like probably anybody else, you can look at your councilman's Facebook, or you can, read in the paper what's going on, see on the news what's going on. Like I said, sometimes city council can be, it's not a big thing. Nobody really, you're like, oh, that's great. So, I mean, a lot of stuff I find out probably like everybody else does, just paper, podcasts sometimes. Facebook, things like that, and talking to your city councilman.
What do you see as the main role of city council in a strong mayor government like we have in the city of Parkersburg?
Yeah, well, I think to be well informed about what your district wants, hanging out with them, trying to figure out what they want, and then advising the mayor on that. And working with other council members to see what's going on in their districts and things. I think that's probably, that's how I would, in a perfect world, that's how I would like it to work. But I mean, and I'm excited about that too. I can't wait to, get into there and study things if I get elected, and work with the mayor, trying to make things better. I don't know if that really answered or not. Kind of went all the way around the bush on that one, didn't I?
What do you think you will enjoy the least about serving if you're elected?
Oh, geez. Probably not being able to help everyone. I mean, you're not going to be able to please everyone. Not everyone's going to get a stop sign where they want it. Not everyone's water lines are going to get fixed. I'm sure, just like anybody else, everybody wants something done. And I think that will be the least, the part that I like the least. You just can't please everybody.
Well, the reverse of that, what excites you the most about serving on city council if you're elected?
It's so exciting because, like I said, I've never really done politics before. So it's very exciting to me to be able to get in there and learn more about how our city works, how the citizens of our city can influence their council members, who can influence the mayor. I think that part's really exciting. I think that part's going to be really fun.
So as a citizen of the city of Parkersburg, what would you say you're most proud of about our city?
I don't think it's like a building or anything like that. I think it's our people. I really love this town. I love how if you've ever been on a Facebook post or something where somebody needs something, somebody's house burnt down, something got flooded, and people put out there, hey, can you help this family or help this person? It always amazes me how many people jump in there and donate and want to give. I know a lot of people hear a lot of bad stuff because that's, generally people like to put that out there before the good. But I love how our town, it's a small town, it has a lot of charm, and I love our people, how they really are giving and caring.
So with that, we will move into our rapid fire hot seat question round. One of us, Kim or myself, has been present at nearly every single council meeting since the current council was sworn in. We've live streamed every meeting up until the coronavirus shifted how those meetings are run. And we've noticed that a lot of what the council does is routine and, like you said, not of much interest to the public. We've also noticed that a lot of issues that come up in council are not controversial. They're resolved either by unanimous or nearly unanimous vote.
But there have been several issues that we'll call hot button issues that got a lot of engagement from the public or caused a lot of controversy on the council itself. And so the issues have, for the most part, been resolved for now, but they can always come back up again.
Right.
And so we wanted to get your take on those.
Okay.
So for this purpose, we'll use the support, not support, or support with changes format. These are, these are quick. We're not expecting you to have all the answers or have, policy in mind. Just the general kind of overview or idea of the issue itself.
Okay.
So here we go.
All right.
The non-discrimination ordinance.
Okay, on that one, right now, I'm a non-support. I think it has a lot of laws that we already have in place. So there's also a lot of fine print that, I just don't agree with. So right now on that one, I'm a non-support.
Motorized bicycle ban.
Okay. That one, I honestly, sheesh. It's so crazy because we have a motorcycle and there are laws that we have to follow to have that motorcycle. So I'm not sure why it's a motorized bicycle is a whole lot different than, like a regular Harley or Forget or anything like that. So that one, that's a tough one. I mean, I really have to get in there, dig in there and read that one because I just think if it's good for one, it would be good for the other. If it's a motorized vehicle and it's allowed on the road, I think there are laws that need to be followed. So yeah, that one I'm not, maybe if some things change, maybe I would support that one. I don't know.
Raising city fees for trash collection, fire, and police protection.
Oh, I know everybody hates that when you get your fees raised and everything, but I would support that because first off, I love our trash dudes. If I put something out there, those guys take it. They're really great. If I forget to put my trash cans out there and, they've got whatever, if I'm outside, they'll be like, hey, did you have trash this week? I mean, I really have great trash guys. My dad is a retired fireman. And we have several friends that are police officers and I love our policemen. So I would be in support of those fees. Absolutely.
Financial support for Parkersburg Homecoming and other civic events.
Well, sure. I mean, I think like I said, I love our town. I love our people and anything that we can do to get them together and have a little bit of fun, especially when this thing is all over. Oh my Lord, let's throw a party. Yes, everybody needs it. So I absolutely support any event like that.
What about the fireworks ban?
Oh, listen, I love fireworks. So I would like to keep fireworks. I don't want to ban fireworks. I think as far as the big giant fireworks, absolutely love them, love them, love them. The ones that people set off constantly through neighborhoods, just let's stick with the noise ordinance. If it's after a certain time, don't throw those suckers around. But yeah, for like the big ones, I love fireworks, love them. Light shows are cool, but there's just something about fireworks.
Splash pad project.
Well, that one's already done. I have little nieces and nephews who had a blast this past summer on that. So, I mean, I know people that don't have little kids probably don't appreciate it as much as people that do have little kids, but I think it was a great project.
A social media policy or code of conduct?
Well, yeah, it's like anything else. There's a time and place for everything. So we definitely need a code of conduct. You know, just like this interview, you wouldn't want me coming in, you know, a bathing suit. No one would. You know, it's like nobody would, especially me. But I mean, I think there definitely rules have to be in place.
Dumpster fencing and cleanup.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you have a dumpster, let's take care of it. I mean, let's keep our town clean and looking good.
And residential property cleanup?
Right. Well, same thing. Nobody wants to drive around and look at a bunch of dumps, right? I mean, we want to keep our town and its charm. So, I mean, you know, yeah, let's clean up some of these properties that have need cleaned up for years.
So with that, you can breathe a sigh of relief. The rest of the questions are softball. The first one is, what is your favorite thing or place in our city?
Oh my goodness. Definitely, without a doubt, my favorite place is the Point. I love it down there. I like to walk. I love the concerts that they do. My boys like to fish down there. I sit on the swings and just listen to the sounds and watch the river. It's definitely my favorite place in Parkersburg.
What are you personally really passionate about?
Oh, geez. Probably, honestly, women. I'm very passionate about women. I've done women's groups in the past. My heart breaks for women that go through depression. So I'm very passionate about that. Anytime that I can help in anything like that, I definitely jump in. So I would say my passion is just helping women to become the best that they can be.
What do you like to do in your off time?
Oh, well, I'd like to camp. So I'm hoping campgrounds open back up soon. My husband says I don't camp because we have he calls me a glamper. We have a really cool camper. So, but I love that. We have a pool, which we are opening in 2 weeks. I love to swim and I love to read. I have books everywhere and I actually like the books. I just like turning the pages and smelling books. I love books. So those are some of the things I do in my off time.
And what is most unique about you?
Oh, geez. Most unique. You know, I am very transparent. Matter of fact, some people in my family say I tell too much. But that's just who I am. And I think maybe that's part of, like I said, with the women's groups that I've run, I find out if I had a hard time with trusting people in my youth, in my young adult age. And so I always try to be very transparent in what I do. So I think that's and that actually in this day and age, I think makes me unique. I don't think everybody is. So I am if you look at my Facebook page or talk to me for 10 minutes, you'll pretty much know everything about my life. So I'm just very transparent.
And with that, we've come to the end. So now we want to give you a few minutes to tell us and voters anything that you feel we have missed or we need to know about you, including how to get in contact with you, find more information on your campaign, whether you have a Facebook or a website, donate, get involved, etc.
I really, like I said, I've kind of campaigned a little differently. I've just been kind of word of mouth, and I have a Facebook page with my husband, and it's Brian Charity Wise, and it's BRYAN. I mean, you can definitely get on there and you'll kind of see what my core values are and stuff. I don't put I don't put any drama stuff on there. So, but yeah, if anybody would like to join that, I definitely will accept them. And then the only thing that we kind of went over is just, I think one of the things that I would also like to do is, one of the issues that we have is homelessness and addiction in our city. And I'm not sure what the answer is for that. However, I think one of the answers is education. And I think the younger, the better. So I would like to get some more, and we did have a couple really cool people come in the high school and talk about addiction. And what the teenagers were talking about afterwards, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, some of them just couldn't believe that, oh, this one little, oh, well, I just smoke this every now and then, how it can lead to bigger and bigger things. So I think with that, I think we have to go and talk to our teens and our preteens about getting help if they need it, because kids are starting younger and younger with drugs and alcohol. It's not only that, but trauma that's happened in their lives because of drug and alcohol use of their parents now. They've had some traumas that we've never had to deal with. So I would like to try to set up something where these kids, teens, whatever, can have someone to talk to, whether they need counseling for the drugs or for depression or whatever trauma is going on in their life. I really hope that we can do something to help with that. That's probably about the only thing I think we kind of missed that I wanted to hit on.
Well, we appreciate your time talking to us today, Charity, and we appreciate your interest in serving the city of Parkersburg on City Council. And we wish you the best in your campaign.
Thank you.
Everyone, stay safe, wash those hands.
Yes.
And thank you.
Thank you very much.